My name is Wes Lines. I live at 5141 West Estrella in Levine, Arizona. And I was hoping that the whole city council would be here, but I guess I'll just have to speak to the ones that are here. I wanted to come and talk about the 202 freeway. I am in support of it. It has been on the agenda since 1987. There are going to be some people here that are going to complain about it. All the people that live in Ahwatukee that complain about it knew that the freeway was coming when they bought their homes. And now they're thinking, well, if we get together, we might be able to stop this thing. I moved into my home in 2001 expecting there to be a freeway, and I'm still am 100% in support of the freeway. There is 3 or 4 times as much traffic along 51st Avenue as there was when I moved in. And I think that the freeway would be the best thing that you could all come together on for the city of Phoenix. I know that some of you are in support of it and some of you are against it. I would really like to see all of you get together and make a decision in support of the Loop 202 freeway. I'm a local Phoenix person. I love this place. I was on Wallace and Ladmo. I won a Ladmo bag. I was the lucky seat winner. I am going to live here for the rest of my life, and I hope that you finish the rest of the loop for the whole freeway. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lines, for being here. Pat Vint, you're next. Up to 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. For those that don't remember me, I've been gone 4 months. And I went north, south, east, and west to try to find a city that was even close to being as bad as City of Phoenix. The Arizona Republic does a very good job. If people were interested in reading the opinion section, it tells how bad the city council and the mayor just doing everything possible to hurt the citizens of Phoenix. Millions of dollars they held up supporting the union so the union could work on the airport. This is a disgrace. Everywhere I went, people said, why would you live in Phoenix? I said, well, I came there 1952 from Korea, thought it was a wonderful place, so I settled down here. It would cost me maybe not millions, but thousands to move. I think it would be worth it, but you're not going to be that fortunate, because I'm going to be down here every second that I can to tear you apart because you're the worst thing that ever happened. Frank Fairbanks, David Cavazos started this disaster. You give them a raise over $300,000. What did they do? They quit. And they spiked their pension, which is what it's all about. The citizens know that you can't do anything here because look at the empty seats. This place ought to be full. It ought to be overrun by people that are disgusted. And Ed Zucker's not any better. You're drinking a cup of coffee that we paid for. You don't give a damn. You really don't give a damn, Ed. I've got things in my basket here now that I went up to the planning and zoning offices. I got copies all the way back to 1981 when I picked up 2 houses off of Northern, 13, 15, 19, and moved them up to Las Palmeritas. And the disaster has never ended. We end up with department heads, and I don't know if my time's about up or not, but you should be ashamed of yourself.
A few more seconds.
What you did to David, to
Jerome.
what's the Jerome Miller that you killed? You didn't put the knife in his back, but you tied the rope around his neck. He didn't want to do what you forced him to do. So what did he do? He had to take his own life. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Thank you.
All right, the next speaker is Leonard Clark, up to 3 minutes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor and council members, for letting me speak. I was going to speak on 2 items. First of all, I want to thank you for letting me speak. There are men and women serving all around the world right now in our armed forces that are making it possible for me to speak, because we have a lot of enemies in this world that would like to see America come down. But anyways, I'm first here to speak against the Loop 202. I don't like the idea of blowing up mountains. I don't like the whole devastating impact it's going to have on our environment and a lot of the other negative aspects. But I'm not going to attack you. That's, let's leave that to the Pakistani parliament, the Indian parliament, where they get up with canes and they beat on each other. I'm sure some people at home would watch a lot more if they could see that, but I don't think that's good. Now, my second thing is, as you might know, maybe you heard about a program, the Los Angeles Police Department. I was reading about it in the Arizona Republic, roughly on the 14th or the 15th. I think it was a great program. On basically, they paired them up with, for people who had autism, and I had a friend who told me, Leonard, you know, instead of saying autistic people, it's probably better to say people with autism, because you're putting the human being first, and I think that's a correct way to say it. But they paired up with autistic young people and rode in the police cars, because we have a lot of people, and we're trying to do our community policing, and we have a lot of people with disabilities and things that can be dangerous for both the police and the people themselves, and I think we need awareness. And I'm saying that with the horrible thing that took place in another part of our great nation, and that was a young man who thought he was taking the ice bucket contest, and 3 or 4 so-called friends put feces and all kinds of horrible things in the bucket, dumped them on him, the man with autism, the young man, and they filmed it. So I just hope if we ever have any rascals like that caught doing such a hateful act to somebody with autism in our city, that maybe we can put them in a tent. I don't always like Tent City, but for them, I would think it would be a great place in the middle of summer. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. The next speaker will be Michael Cornelius.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I'm just going to say that I don't need to speak. I was going to talk on a subject. I'm going to hold off a month. Obviously, it was about the transit issue that we're facing. So based on a brief conversation, I'll hold my comments for a month.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in a future meeting. The next speaker is Lejeune Pleasant. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ms. Pleasant?
Hi, good afternoon, Council. My name is LaJuan Pleasant. I'm a property and homeowner here in Phoenix. I've been a resident here for 16 years. And I guess I'm approaching you with concern regarding one of your violations that have affected myself and my neighbor. The majority of my neighbors I've already spoken with. It's in reference to your violation code 39-7BROW. It's in reference to the homeowners or renters or anyone who lives in the residence maintaining the city alleyways and back alleyways. The notices that we've been receiving are really scary. It's letting us know that if the property is not brought up to par, even though it's not my property, it's the city of Phoenix's property. I've got an 8-foot fence outside that encompasses me. Weeds grow, people drop construction materials, all type of debris. And I think it's unfair to have the homeowners and those persons living in the area to be held responsible for maintaining that, both financially as well as emotionally, psychologically. This notice says that I can be fined up to $2,500 per day, 6 months in jail, and/or any combination thereof. And that's scary to know that I've reached out to my neighborhood preservation department, Kate Gallegos' office, with no success. So I'm just asking if you could please, review that ordinance and see how it can fairly be applied, so it takes the burden off of us as homeowners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pleasant. Mr. City Manager, I know the councilwoman, if she's not here, we'll make sure she's aware, but make sure the appropriate professional staff gets with Ms. Pleasant to deal with that the issues that she mentioned. Ms. Barker, did you wish to provide testimony on citizen requests? Up to 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. It's nice to see you this afternoon. Diane Barker, District 7. And I have a little note here to our city clerk on October 13th, and it's in regards to the public transmission of the public session and even the formal agenda. I want to say that I've had, when I talk to people here at the city, whether it's officials or the city staffers, I get easy access, and I appreciate that. I don't think that we solve problems quick enough, but in this case, typically Mr. Myers does contact me. I had a chance to speak with him, and he says that he didn't see in Charter 2 that the public comments are supposed to be transmitted with the formal agenda, inclusive. So I'm up there trying to look. I don't have the computer that will get me access to the city YouTube. It has a security on it. The building does. It's hard at the library to look at it, and the city clerk doesn't have earphones up there. I went to the mayor's office to let you know that, even if they did not have the October 1st YouTube for the formal agenda nor the public comments. So then a week later, they did get the formal agenda, and they still don't have the public comment section. I understand that the clerk's purview really isn't, they don't have to keep that record, but you know, how else are we to access it? You know, it's a real that's what I'm saying, it's fumbling. Sometimes there are a couple of different tapes on YouTube. There have been in the past for public comments, and it's disjointed anybody that's looking for the formal agenda. So I'm looking to see that we make the access, of which I think your goal was, Mayor, to make it more transparent and have easy access, you know, for the public. And also, I couldn't get the city council information timely to see if you had gotten the report back of the paper that I handed in for the correction of the public transit letter. So I am asking that you could assign staff to get with me to solve that one. And then, let's see, so we had the papers and the public comments. Okay, the latest communication that I had, and they handed it to, the staff did, to Mr. Feldman, who couldn't give me the answer, although he was telling me his designation is legal and administrative. And what it is, there's a state law. I got it from the Streets Department. It's Title 9-500, and it says the municipality in October, for I think it's 6 months, will have 85% of its workforce on a flex time. And that would begin, but it doesn't seem like anybody knows the answer, and the code is under for a municipality, so I need to have somebody get me with on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Barker. On the issue she brought up, there's probably no good reason why the YouTube or video from this, both on the website and YouTube, should be posted as quickly as possible, even same day. So we can look into that, make sure it's posted as quickly as possible, and is not a dead link or anything like that. Is done the appropriate way. Okay, we have 3 more citizen request cards. Because it's 3 o'clock, we're going to begin our formal meeting of the City Council. So Mr. Habre, Mr. Rusnick, and Ms. Harrison, you'll have the opportunity to speak at citizen request, but pursuant to the City Council rules, we'll do that at the end of the formal business of the City Council. So the citizen request period is now completed, and we're out right at 3 o'clock, so we're going to go right into the formal meeting of the Phoenix City Council.